The scope of Joseph DeAngelo's crime spree is simply staggering, encompassing 13 known murders and almost 50 rapes between 1975 and 1986. His monikers reflect the sweeping geographical impact of his crimes: the Visalia ransacker, the East Area rapist, the original Night Stalker, and the Golden State Killer. Each time he escaped, slipping away silently into the night, leaving communities terrified for years. For over 40 years, the biggest question remained unanswered: who was the serial killer and rapist? Detectives from counties throughout the state poured endless resources into answering that one question. Even after retiring, detectives continued to investigate the case that haunted them. Generations of law enforcement never gave up, and neither did the prosecutors from those counties. In June of 2016, the Sacramento Sheriff's Department partnered with the FBI and other law enforcement agencies by offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to the identification of this person. This announcement came at a press conference held 40 years after the first known rape in Sacramento. Within months of that press conference, Sacramento District Attorney Anne Marie Schubert convened a meeting of all involved counties, including the elected district attorneys, asking each to dedicate more resources to answer that question. Those DA's offices responded: Ventura, Orange, Santa Barbara, Tulare, Alameda, Contra Costa, Stanislaus, San Joaquin, Santa Clara, and Sacramento answered the call. In the fall of 2017, Contra Costa Assistant Chief Investigator Paul Holes asked District Attorney Schubert to assist in using a new DNA tool, Investigative Genetic Genealogy, IGG, to possibly develop a lead in the case. Investigator Holes collaborated with the Ventura County District Attorney's Office, which had located an unopened sexual assault kit collected from the homicides of Lyman and Charlene Smith, in which Charlene was sexually assaulted. In January of 2018, a semen from the vaginal sample in Charlene's kit was used to develop a specialized DNA profile intended for investigative genetic genealogy. The DNA profile can be uploaded to a publicly available genetic genealogy database where a list of names of potential relatives of the killer was provided. No DNA and no other genetic information from these potential relatives was shared with law enforcement. A working group comprised of Paul Holes, Steve Kramer, Division Counsel for the LA Field Office of the FBI, genealogist Barbara Ray Ventnor, and Sacramento District Attorney's Office Lieutenant Kurt Campbell and Investigative Assistant Monica Jakowski began the laborious process of building family trees. On March the 18th, 2018, Sacramento DA Investigative Assistant Jakowski notified the team, quote, "We just found another guy." And the answer to that one question that has gone unanswered for over 40 years revealed itself. This investigation uncovered the following about Joseph DeAngelo. He grew up in Rancho Cordova. He served in the military. He was engaged to a woman named Bonnie, a name uttered during an ear sexual assault in Yolo County. He was employed as a police officer near Visalia during the ransacking series. He left Tulare County after the Officer McGowan shooting. And then he worked as an Auburn police officer during the same time period as the East Area Rapist series, but was fired for shoplifting dog repellent. DeAngelo then moved to Southern California before returning to Sacramento. The Sacramento Sheriff's Department began following Joseph DeAngelo. On April the 23rd, 2018, using an empty garbage truck, detectives collected trash discarded by Joseph DeAngelo from his garbage can, which was placed on the public street for collection. The Sacramento County District Attorney Crime Lab tested tissue found in that trash and developed a DNA profile that matched not only the defendant, but also matched the DNA profile of the perpetrator in 3 Contra Costa rapes and 8 murders in Southern California. On April the 24th, 2018, Joseph DeAngelo was arrested while standing on the driveway of his residence in Citrus Heights. Detectives interviewed the defendant after his arrest, confronting him with the sexual assaults in the East Area Rapist series and the murder of Brian and Katie Majori. They mentioned the overwhelming DNA evidence against him regarding the murder of the Smiths in Ventura and Sherry Domingo and Greg Sanchez in Santa Barbara. Just a few hours before the interview, detectives observed D'Angelo vigorously working on his yard, jumping in and out of his truck and lifting heavy objects. Just a week before, he was seen racing his motorcycle on the freeway at high rates of speed, weaving in and out of traffic, and performing sophisticated counter-surveillance maneuvers. Now, sitting in the interview room, he feigned feeble incoherence. But this wasn't the first time he did so. When store security detained D'Angelo in 1979 for shoplifting dog repellent and a hammer, he pretended to suffer a heart attack and then fought with them to the point where they had to tie him down to a chair. When the deputies arrived, he rolled around in his chair, talked in circles, and screamed incoherently. Later that day, D'Angelo admitted to the deputies that he just pretended to act crazy to avoid getting in trouble. A short while later, while sitting alone in the interview room on April the 24th, 2018, Joseph D'Angelo began to talk to himself. And among other things, said, "I did all that. I didn't have the strength to push him out. He made me. He went with me. It was like in my head. I mean, he's a part of me. I didn't want to do those things. I pushed Jerry out and had a happy life. I did all those things. I've destroyed all their lives. So now, I got to pay the price." So today, 45 years after it first started, both the people and the defendant are prepared to proceed to a resolution in these cases.
Thank you, counsel.